terms of agreement, which is now effective, is a decisive shift from protectionism to partnerships, and that too between the two largest democracies of the world. And one, India is the fastest growing economy in the world, and US is the largest economy. So therefore, this is a very strategic partnership between US and India. I think it's a great opportunity for our, generic pharmaceutical companies, because US is a very large market with $30 trillion economy. So I think that this access to the generic pharma industry will definitely boost our exports. And US has a good demand for these generic pharma, because this is used by general public. I think overall, if you look at it, terms of agreement, which is now effective, is decisive shift from protectionism to partnerships, and that too between the two largest democracies of the world. And one, India is the fastest growing economy in the world, and US is the largest economy. So therefore, this is a very strategic partnership between US and India. Yeah, I mean, whether it is Mankind Pharma or any other pharma company, so with the 18% tariff, which was very high earlier, I think this will give a very large market access to our pharma companies. And ultimately, you get access to the global value chain. And this is also diversification in the market, because with the kind of disruptions that were happening in in the trade relationships between India and US in last 5 6 months, then we could not even think of selling our goods. So now that and ultimately US is a very huge market. It's a $30 trillion economy, and we get access. And among the emerging economies, if you look at it, we have 18% tariffs, and all other economies are also having 19% or 20%. Still, I think we have a competitive edge on this. Yeah, I mean, in last 5 6 months, as you know, that due to this lot of geopolitical uncertainties, companies were not able to put their full capacity as far as the export market is concerned. And though we have signed FTAs with the other advanced economies in the world, and EU being one of the large market at the same time with UK, however, US is definitely a market which is with which we have got old trade relationships, and people were already doing business with the United States. So, due to these uncertainties, there were disruptions in that process, because the kind of tariffs were being talked about, it was not sustainable. However, this terms of agreement, which has been just effective now, gives a long-term clarity and stability in our trades. So therefore, I believe that this opens up doors once again, and the companies who are already working in this market, pharma companies, especially the generic drugs, they have a huge opportunity. I believe that this is an opportunity which our companies will definitely capitalize upon. Well, you see, with US, we were already doing a lot of business. Also, in with EU, in some countries, we were doing. However, I think EU and US, if you put it together, this is half of the world. So just imagine Indian companies doing business with half of the world and advanced economies. How large in this is this market, and what kind of opportunities will emerge from this? However, EU has a CBAM mechanism, which of course our government has already talked about it. We need to be, more sustainable. We need to use the green transition. We need to go through the green transition. But however, I think that both the markets, whether it is US or EU, EU being, if you just see geographically, it has easy access. However, I think with US, with which we were already doing business, I think both these economies are advanced economies, and we feel that the agreements with both the economies, they will have a long-term impact on our exports. India has a very ambitious target of $2 trillion exports by 2030. And for that, we need a market. I think that what is better than these two largest market in the world? You are covering the half of the world. Therefore, this has opened doors for all Indian companies in various sectors.